2 lists of potential Olympic boxers were announced today. 33 fighters in total, and the run-in to 2012 has truly started. Now, the new man in charge of the GB team is Robert McCracken, and I grabbed hold of him before the list was even published to see how much of a nightmare it was making the final selections.
It wasn't a nightmare. It's obviously, you know, a little bit tricky. You've got to get the right kids into the squads, and obviously there's a development and there's a podium. So it was a little bit chaotic, to say the least, but we got it sorted and we got the right boxers in place, and I'm sure we'll move it forward in the right way.
Did you contact all of the boxers individually before naming the squad?
Most of the squad were already here. The 5 trialists that I brought in, I contacted them, and I also spoke to their club coaches, and they're in now. They're doing well. We're just at the end of a week-long training camp with the French. They've been over, so you know, they're all adapting, and it's going along smoothly. Now,
have you already had any complaints? Because that's going to be, you know, that's standard for anyone who selects any squad. You're always going to have people moaning and complaining. You had anyone come on to you yet?
Well, I'm sure that you know, because I came through the system myself, and,
sure.
I was a boxer. I'm sure that, you know, people feel that their boxer should be in. They're going to get the chance, Steve.
Good,
it's an open door policy. It's not going to be a closed shop. The trialists will come in. We'll evaluate them. Some maybe stay, some maybe go to development, and some will go back to their clubs. It's about giving the right boxers the opportunity to get onto the GB squad and stay on the GB squad. So every top boxer at their weight will get their opportunity along the way, that's for sure.
Is there some kind of cut-off date next year where you're going to have to say, I can't keep sending away 2 or 3 featherweights or 2 or 3 lightweights, I've got to concentrate? Is there have you got a cut-off date in your head for that next year?
Well, yeah, I mean, the reality of it is that 2012 potentially we'll have 10 men and 3 women. That's the reality. At the moment, there's 32, there's 21 on the podium and 11 on the development. The reality of it is that some are going to make the cut and some aren't. It's our job to get them the right experience, get the right kids in, the right talent coming through, and get them out there and see if they're potential Olympic gold medalists. And if they're not, they'll all get a fair chance, and it'll be a fair system, which is what we need.
So we've got the Commonwealth, we've got the Europeans and the Commonwealth this year. Is that right, Rob? And
we've got the Europeans in June, and we've got the Commonwealth Games in October.
Okay, now with regard to the Europeans, as you know, I know everyone says, oh, this is a hard competition, but you've only got to look at the stats. That European, you know, that's a tough one to do well in. Would you be thinking about sending a squad there to blood fighters, or are you only going to send 2 or 3 there that might have success? What's your approach to a tournament like that, Rob?
I'm going to look at it very carefully. I'm going to send boxers out now to different tournaments over the next couple of months. I'm going to have a real good look at. We've got great competition. For example, at 57, you've got Martin Ward, Luke Campbell, and Ian Weeks.
Sensational.
So how good's that for one
listen,
way?
the Cubans. If the Cubans had that, we'd be talking about it being a golden period. You know that, don't you?
Exactly. And Bradley Saunders, Scott Cardell, and Lewis Reese at 64. So you know, it's moving in the right way. We're getting stronger. I'm going to select the right boxers to go to the Europeans, but they're going to give them a fair chance before to get that #1 spot, so they go there and claim a medal for us.
Now, Rob, what about this final point? Because I know you're busy today, because it's a busy day of media following this, and rightly so, because it's a major Olympic event, and that's what we're looking at here. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, that's what we're glaring at here. Rob, let me ask you this about the ABAs. Are the boys in this squad, these 32 fighters, do they have to go in the ABAs? Are they excluded from the ABAs? Are they encouraged to go in the ABAs? What's your stance? Not the official stance. What's your stance on that, Rob?
My stance is that since I've come in, we're going to make this as individualised as possible. We're staggering the training sessions now, so you've not got 21 boxers in the gym at the same time.
Cool.
They're coming in their groups of 4, so they're getting intense training, individualised. My take on it is it's the same with selection. I'm going to choose boxers that I think should go to certain tournaments for their development. Now, some of them will go in the ABAs, and that's fine.
Because they need the experience.
Some of them that I select to go to, i.e. the Commonwealth Feds, then my take on it will be that they should go to the Feds, because that's where, for their development, that's where they need to be right now. But there will be boxers off this squad that are going in the ABAs.
Okay, that's good. It's reassuring to know, because I know that conversations I have with trainers are saying, oh, the good kids don't have to go in the ABAs, they're getting preferential treatment. But equally, well, I've got to tell you, I've had a couple of coaches on here in the last 2 months, and they've said it's been fantastic since you came in, because you're staying in touch with them. That's something you've got to keep doing, obviously.
Listen, the boxers come through the club coaches, and they're the fellas who produce them. Let's be honest about it. We get to inherit them, and we're lucky enough to then be able to work with these really good kids and try and mould them into top international athletes. Some of them will go in the ABAs, as I've said. Some of them will go to the Feds, and it's what's right for their development. And I'm sure the club coaches will be on board with my take on it.
They certainly will. Now, Rob, also, just finally before I let you go, Carl Frott's going to be training up there with the boys.
Yeah, Carl will come over. He's due in a week on Monday, and you know, he's obviously the world champion, and he's come off the squad. He's having a fantastic career, and I just think it can only do good for them and good for him to work in amongst each other.
Absolutely, he's only down the road anyway. Listen, Rob McCracken, thanks very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and see you again.
Thanks, Steve.
Next.